Redditor Purgatory Adventures submitted this to the Chills Narrator subreddit, and they said it's one of the scariest events in Purgatory Adventures history. The Redditor described the events as the following. We captured footsteps coming down the stairs at us. The ghost hunting team appears to be in an abandoned building of some sort. One team member sits in the middle of a mostly empty room, but keep your eye on the door in the top right. And just like that, clear as day, they hear footsteps coming from the other side of that door, like someone is walking down some stairs.
What the f? That was like in the staircase, man.
Something tells me they're not alone in this place, but the question now is whether it's a ghost or a stranger. Which one do you think it is? Either way, I'd be staying far away from this place.
What the f? That was like in the staircase, man.
When you head into the middle of nowhere in search of a cave, you certainly aren't looking to meet strangers. YouTuber Lil Goofy says that whenever he goes to this place, nobody is there. Not this time. He published this video of the incident in July of 2019 writing, I brought a friend to see a rare cave in our local mountains that hardly anyone goes to. On our way up through a trail that leads to the caves, a stranger came out and waves at us. Then he pulled out what looked to be a big blade, so me and my friend ran since we didn't have any protection nor cell phones. In the video, the stranger is pointed out at a distance. He's dressed in black, and the YouTuber notes that his hands are behind his back. When the pair realize that the man has a blade, they hightail it out of there as fast as they can. As they slow to a stop, realizing they both left their phones in the car, the stranger rounds the corner, and they run off again, taking a left fork in the trail and wondering if the stranger knows the trail better than they do. After a while, they watch for their pursuer and catch him on video running up the trail. Finally, they make it back to their car in one piece. What were this man's intentions? Evil or not, this looked like it wouldn't have ended well. According to local legend, a woman's body was found in this cave, and YouTuber Ricky Velasquez is digging deep to find her spirit. The front entrance has been covered up.
Algunas... no sé cómo llamarlo...
But there's a secret passage, and Ricky finds it. Inside, he discovers a person's belongings, including what looks like a bed. Down one dark passage, sparkling lights are captured.
Tu ánima o demonio que habita este lugar, yo te evoco. Pero si hay algo que pueda hacer por ti, me lo puedes hacer saber. ¿Cuál es tu nombre?
At first, I thought it was a paranormal device, but later you see it's the distant city lights. Beyond the ambient traffic noise, you can hear an echoing voice sob from afar. It sounds like it's coming from the belly of the cave.
Es raro. Pero bueno, me gusta este lugar. Tal vez no haya mucha actividad, pero... actividad nula. Pero este lugar cargadísimo, 100% recomendado si quieres vivir.
Then, as Ricky is talking, he hears this sound.
Y poder apoyar, poder ayudar. Se imaginen, todos tenemos hermanas, todos tenemos madre, abuela, tías. Que esto no es algo que uno se lo desea a nadie.
Here it is again with the volume enhanced.
Boy.
In another moment, he hears a voice again. Is Ricky in the presence of the woman's spirit? I think so. I feel a certain energy here, even through the screen. This video, titled Proof They Do Exist, Ghosts Swinging on Lights, was taken at a body repair shop at an undisclosed location. There are only 2 fans, both off. One is even pointed at the ground, yet this light is going crazy. It's even weirder when you see that both the next light over and the one furthest away are hanging still as can be. Here's another video of the shop taken on a different day. Watch for anything weird and tell me what you find, because I see nothing to cause this. There are no vents in the ceiling, so what could this be? It's 12 in the morning when this stranger starts creeping along the side of a fence in slow and even steps, as if in a deep trance. He has an old portable radio on full volume, and he doesn't say anything, just slowly turns the knob.
Apparitions.
Occasionally, he pauses long enough to stare through the fence without saying a word. His radio does plenty of communicating though, and this part is especially weird. The radio just so happens to say something about walking away here. They reach the end of the chain link fence and nothing separates the two. The video ends with a really long stare down that the strange man easily wins. He reaches into his coat pocket for something, and the cameraman bolts for cover. A smart decision. Here's a vintage ghost video taken back when most people did not know how to edit anything at all. A ghost hunter travels to an abandoned house in Virginia on a road in the woods with no streetlights and no neighbors. A CCTV system is set up, which looks old-fashioned by today's standards but was state-of-the-art back in 2002, and at 8:13 at night, this pale ghost in the window is caught on camera. The ghost in the window is not the investigator. He's standing behind the camera adjusting it at the time. According to him, this window is 7 feet off the ground with no way for anyone to get up there in the first place. I was thinking it was a passing car, but he says the street was quiet as always, so maybe it was an apparition after all. A strange cloud phenomenon in the sky coincided with the appearance of a mysterious lake creature in China. Published by Real UFO in May of 2017, CCTV captured both, which were reported in this news clip. The cloud shape looks almost like a hand reaching to grip something. Then again, clouds can often look strange without it meaning something paranormal is going on, but this lake creature is hard to explain away. It disturbs the water's surface at length, appearing to be a long eel or a sea monster. What is this enormous creature? And does its appearance have anything to do with the sky phenomenon? Or is it simultaneously simply a coincidence? Seems suspect to me. A horrifying event happened in this home. 3 sisters all had their lives taken here, and ever since, it has been abandoned and haunted. YouTube team Ming's Paranormal investigates the abandoned house. One YouTuber hears a whistle during the home tour. Did you hear it? Here it is again. In another instance, this mysterious orb descends from above, disappearing halfway across the screen. That doesn't look like your average dust particle. Do the souls of the 3 sisters still linger in this abandoned house? I definitely think the team should spend more time here to see if they can make further contact. But personally, I don't think I'd have the guts to step foot in this place. Nadeem Shah suspects he's caught some paranormal things on video when he goes exploring an abandoned building that is little more than pillars in the dark. He suspects a place this creepy has to be haunted, and the ghost hunter's instincts are not wrong.
हम देखते हैं अगर हमें कोई यहाँ पे भारी चीज या कोई जिनों का साया नजर आता है कि नहीं। हम जिन की तलाश में निकल तो नाजरीन ये कुछ हिलता हुआ हमें नजर आया है, तो ये आवाजें कैसी आ रही है। आए नाजरीन, हम हिम्मत करके वहां जाने की कोशिश करते।
2 ghost sightings are enough for Nadeem. He needs a paranormal encounter up close to be fully convinced. He follows the ghosts into the darkness for one final sighting.
इसको देखते हैं ये कौन सी मखलूक है, क्या चीज है। इसको हम पकड़ने की कोशिश करते हैं। ये इस तरफ से नजर आ रही है, इधर से हम जाने की कोशिश कर।
He's all alone when a slow-moving shadow figure glides across the pillar without making a sound. It's not someone walking behind him either, because Nadim would already be blocking out the light himself. It's a real ghost sighting as far as I'm concerned. A paranormal entity, a moving shadow that deeply creeps him out and sends him on his way. Enough said. This video of the Ishima Hoyashi Bridge in Japan looks like one of the scariest places in the world to drive over and has the internet freaking out. It resembles a terrifying roller coaster more than a bridge, but I found a video of someone going over it, and while the ride is creepy, it's probably not as bad as you thought. I just wanted to show what going over this bridge is really like, since the video went viral not too long ago. The reason why the bridge is built like this is to give extra room for boats to go under. It makes sense, but doesn't really make it any less scary, especially if you already have a fear of bridges to begin with. A while back, I analyzed a video of a weird spider with a strange growth under its abdomen. Well, I did some more research and found this video, which finally explains what it was: an egg sac. First, they come out one by one, and within less than 2 minutes, hundreds have burst out. Their mother patiently stands guard until they are all free and then leaps away, leaving behind her brood in the hopes that they will scatter to every room in the household and successfully grow to full size. A YouTube channel called Exploring Mysterious India is at an abandoned house that was once occupied by 5 families. Since then, it's rumored to become so dangerously haunted that not even squatters will take their chances. The group worries about snakes in the leaves and thorny forest vines, but the real danger is already watching them from afar. While searching for an entrance, they find this rope tied in a perfect knot next to a water well that looks deep enough to easily hide a body. They find this discarded cross on the floor. Perhaps it was flung from the hands of someone who tried to cleanse this place long ago. A smeared red handprint on the wall gives the impression that no one stays here for long. Sometimes you don't have to catch a spirit on video to convince me that a location is haunted. Between the rope, the well, the handprint, and the cross, I think I have enough evidence to make up my mind on this one. Larry Glow has a haunted home that keeps him on edge at all times. He records down the hallway because a ghost is down there. He's sure of it. I'm not sure what he is saying and need your help to fully understand.
Lo que está pasando. Yo sé que yo escuché algo por aquí. Esto está jodón, esta vaina aquí.
He hears a loud noise from behind as the ghost walks past and touches a light. The living room is where he experiences the most paranormal activity, so there's already a second camera all set up. Here is the same scary moment from a different angle. As you can see, he hears a bang, turns around, and that's when this stuffed animal gets possessed. Is someone pulling strings off camera, or are these objects moving on their own? A man is riding down a poorly lit Indian highway when they barely avoid a pedestrian who is staggering in the middle of the road. Yet when he turns around seconds later, the man is nowhere to be found. Now he is determined to find the man again. He turns back around and retraces his steps for almost a full minute. Then he realizes he's all gone, grows extremely uncomfortable, and speeds away. The only non-paranormal explanation I have is that maybe the pedestrian got scared and hid when he saw the motorcycle turn back around. Let me know if you think that's what happened, or if this was a genuine highway ghost encounter. In January of 2018, this emergency message was broadcasted to everyone in the entire state of Hawaii.
A missile may impact on land or sea within minutes. This is not a drill.
What's more alarming is how everyone seems to ignore the emergency directions that are instructing them to pull over. Bethany and the vehicle in front of her continue to drive, even when told by the radio to stop. Although, to be completely fair, they could have been on a one-lane road with nowhere safe to pull over.
If you are driving, pull safely to the side of the road and seek shelter in a building or lay on the floor. We will announce when the threat has ended.
The broadcast puts the entire island into a panic, and I feel like this live stream video summarizes everyone's reaction perfectly. The first stage is a sort of disbelief, and the need to confirm it's really happening.
Oh gosh, what happened? Did you guys get that? Did you not get that? There's an emergency ballistic missile threat.
The next stage is acceptance that this is real, which leads to scrambling for a plan, even in the face of total obliteration.
Oh my god! What do we do?
And the final stage is panicking at the realization that all hope is lost, that your life is about to truly end. The urge to run somewhere, anywhere, sets in even though it's clear nothing can be done.
Babe, what do we do?
As it turns out, this broadcast was a major mistake made by staff at a military command post. There was nothing this time, but based on these videos and countless others, I don't think we would really do as well as we would like to think in the face of an actual catastrophe. A YouTuber named Shanen Sarmi is excited to travel to California, but far less enthusiastic about her flight, specifically her window, which is not sitting in place and makes this unsettling noise.
We're going through the window and I didn't tell anyone.
By the time she lands, the first of the 2 layers of glass has slid down enough to poke her finger through. It looks like she is sticking her hand out of the plane, but she actually isn't. There is one more layer of glass that is hard to see, but still the thickness of the window is now halved. She notices something was wrong with her window during the flight, but did not tell anyone until the very end, not wanting to cause a panic. I see where she is coming from, and she might have just been too shy and scared to speak up, but I personally think she should have said something, because they might have needed to make an emergency landing to fix it. She was trying to keep everyone calm by not telling, but looking at the condition of the window, I think it could have put everyone's lives in danger, but above all else, I'm just glad that she and everyone else was okay. Earl Quest is certain that his mirror in his house is haunted because he is always seeing weird things in it out of the corner of his eye. Finally, one day he's had enough and decides to simply record behind him to figure out once and for all what exactly his haunting mirror is trying to show him. Imagine his surprise when his own reflection turns around. Actually, he isn't surprised at all, and that seems like the strangest thing about this video when you think about it. Most people would drop the camera and run screaming if they saw this, but he just keeps the same face like it's no big deal, which doesn't sound like a realistic reaction to me. This TikTok video, while scary, must not be real because he doesn't even so much as look back at his reflection. This creepy encounter was posted to Reddit by Ghosty Phase. A Ring doorbell camera captured a young woman's stalker. The woman says she was followed home from Walmart and her stalker showed up on her doorstep. At first, the man appears to be looking for his own keys, but then he fails to find any and peers around the corner of the house. Many are wondering if the creep left something for his victim. Although we can agree that this is beyond creepy and edging into full-on horror, I do think this footage reminds us not to trust anyone. You never know when you could cross paths with someone like this. Mackie and Amanda are about to enter the most haunted place in Orange County. While exploring the house, they hear strange noises. One of their paranormal devices goes off, and at the same time, they hear something in the distance.
So if anyone's trying...
Did you hear that? Yes.
While they're searching in the bathroom, this happens.
Did someone just make a noise in here?
What is that? What is that? No, I can hear it behind me though. It sounds like... I don't even know.
A whisper is heard.
Okay, well, I was gonna say, if any spirits are up here with...
What's that, man?
It sounded like a whisper, did it not?
Yeah, it sounded like something.
And then footsteps.
There's like so many noises and stuff happening and you're just going...
Something just touched my bear. What is happening?
The bear continues to be paranormally activated.
Yeah, maybe we should move the music box down to closer to her room so that it can catch up. It picked up any baby.
And then they notice something.
What the? There's like an ambulance.
Like a doctor?
Yes. Yes.
Is this one of the doctor's unfortunate patients? I think it might be. And I think they passed away with unfinished business. What terrible creature lies in this empty field? YouTube channel Wokaya Raz High Official may have the answer. Captured in the darkness of night, this creepy creature looks like a thing of nightmares.
क्या है क्या? हाँ? गाड़ियों की आवाज आ रही। क्या चीज़ है? एक मिनट, ये क्या चीज़ है?
Seeing it from a distance, it could be anything, even just a black garbage bag, but as they approach, they find that was wishful thinking. The thing is moving. As they wonder what this creature could be, it gets too close for comfort. I guess we'll never know for sure what that was. So do you agree with the title of the video saying that it's a black snake devil? There's not a lot of information available about this video, besides that it was broadcast live somewhere in Albania. Two radio personalities are having a spirited discussion when suddenly they are interrupted by something that neither of them can explain.
Pjesa më e madhe janë pushim dhe po e shijojnë dhe një ditë mrekullueshme që është për jashtë. Wow. Ç'ishte kjo?
A newspaper flies up on its own in the middle of their conversation, and you don't have to speak the language to see the genuine surprise written all over the man's face as it happens. Still, I would really appreciate it if anyone who speaks Albanian could tell me what was being said, or tell me more about their show if you recognize them. I've watched this video many times, and I see no strings attached to the newspaper or anything like that. Obviously, it can't be magnets either. So if it's not magnets or string, then what could it possibly be besides a haunting? Baba Singh is riding at night when he sees a fluttering figure in white robes at the side of the road. Tell me what he says here at 55 seconds upon contact.
वो भाई, वो भाई, वो भाई, वो भाई.
It looks like it could be a ghost with its back turned to him and possibly floating in midair, perhaps at the very same spot where its life concluded, but I'm not sure. Let me know if you think this video from India is a real ghost sighting or just an encounter with a person dressed in all white. Once done a harmless face swap, but what happens when the swap becomes scary? Posted by Primal Chaos and later submitted to the Chills Narrator subreddit. This face swap between friends took a dark turn when one of the friends left the frame, only to allow a terrifying invisible being to swap faces with the remaining friend. The scary swapped face looks demon-like, causing the dude whose face it swapped to turn around and look for the paranormal being he's been partnered with. Many in the comments of this video find this unpleasant and unexpected swap upsetting. If this happened in a dream, what might it mean? Perhaps that your dream has taken a step in another direction. That's of a nightmare. Werewolves lurk in this forest. Enter if you dare. YouTube team Fatos A Mysterios faced off with a wild half-man, half-dog in this scary video. First, they hear it.
Tô me escutei tipo um bater de orelha mesmo, vi? Sei lá o que foi isso. Olha aí de novo, olha lá.
And soon they spot it right before it gives chase.
Tá fumando isso? Não, cara, olha ali. Tá vendo aí nas valhas? Tô vendo.
Its growl soon sends him running.
What?
And despite fleeing the werewolf, it's still stalking them in the darkness.
Liga logo tua moto, liga! Vai, liga.
Will they escape?
Tá vendo aí nas valhas? Tô vendo.
They better hope so, or I think they'll soon be part of the wolf pack too. Worst nightmare is to be buried alive. This stunt will have you panicking, just like Ryan. Published in May of 2021, Ryan Prunty's stunt saw him buried alive for 51 hours in an attempt to try and break Mr. Beast's world record. Well, in his buried box, Ryan starts panicking and screams the safe word. The team begins the task of unburying his coffin.
He called pineapple, okay.
Which is filled with water and garbage. They aren't moving fast enough for Ryan's taste, and the screws keep getting stripped.
It's stripped, we're getting this off. Yeah, Carter's strip broke up.
Look.
What do you mean, look? I'm in a box!
Finally, they manage to pull off the lid, and Ryan is freed, and I'm sure he was never happier to see the light of day again.
Oh my. Oh. You alright, buddy? Man, dude, you make a mess. We leave you down here for 25 hours and you leave it looking like this?
It's after hours at a hardware store when this red balloon floats into view for no reason at all. The store owner doesn't notice anything out of the ordinary. As he makes his way to a shelf to price some items, the balloon stays in place for approximately 15 seconds, which is already weird enough. But then once his back is turned, it steadily moves in his direction and even slowly floats to eye level, where it stays behind him for a long time. When he still doesn't notice, it actually floats around to cut him off. According to the owner, the air conditioning was turned off and there was no draft in the building, so there really should be no way for this balloon to be moved at all. Besides, he doesn't even sell them to begin with, and has no idea how one floated into a closed store. A YouTuber named Nellis is exploring a haunted mansion in Bosnia where many people lost their lives during a dark chapter of their nation's history. Active minds dot the surrounding woods, so they have to head straight inside. One of the first things they see is what they think are belts hanging from the ceiling that people could have looped around their neck, though I think they could have been hooks from hanging lamps.
And there's them belts again. Look up there, there's them belts. Do people hang themselves? There's definitely people here. I think they're sat around there.
We see them again up close for a couple of minutes later, and they aren't belts at all. But I still don't know what they were used for. But wait, forget about the ceiling. Look at what's hanging against the wall. Going back to the first clip I mentioned earlier, it seems it was there all along. Laney and Ben's notorious Poltergeist is at it again, published in February of 2022. This short clip shows yet another paranormal experience in their haunted home. In the video, a small picture frame falls from a shelf onto the couch below. Then a cat toy is shoved abruptly over. The action is caught on a security camera set up in the room. Upon finding stuff moved, Ben takes viewers through the room using a Kinect app. The figure of a person momentarily appears on the couch, right where the frame has fallen. First it appears sitting, then it looks like it's laying down. Is the demon right in front of him? And what will he do next? What would you do if you encountered a figure from your nightmares in the middle of a forest? YouTuber Adi Riono shares this insanely creepy video of just such an encounter. After racing away, the cameraman turns back to see if the figure follows, but he finds that it has disappeared. Where did it go? Is it about to pop up right behind him? I hope not, because this is the thing nightmares are made of. Will you expect to find some creepy stuff in an abandoned funeral home? Abandoned remains are probably not among the usual suspects. Published to YouTube by RNK All Day in March of 2020, the channel writes, "We found ashes inside an abandoned funeral home that was condemned due to the funeral director leaving and hiding bodies. It was located in North Carolina. It was closed down in 2012 after client complaints. The funeral home's former owner was put behind bars for not burying the individuals." RNK All Day explores this home and its unnerving history. Amongst the creepy things found inside are Polaroids of the passed on individuals and a squatter's bed made up inside the building. But of course, the most unsettling thing they encountered was a bag of ashes in a torn cardboard box. According to a timestamp on the box, they were from 1995, meaning they've remained there for over 2 decades. Let's hope they finally received a proper burial. Paranormal investigator Tim Morozov has experienced his fair share of demon encounters over the years, but this is probably one of the most terrifying. What you're about to see is a demon trying to take Tim's soul. First, the demon shows its disdain for knock-knock jokes.
This. Oh.
Then it confronts him.
Блин, даже не знаю, сколько времени. Уже выспло.
It then speaks to him. This demon clearly wants him gone, and Tim finally heeds his warning. I think it's very smart of him to have gotten out when he did, considering this demon's level of aggression. I always find his videos compelling, but this one especially has me on edge. It's a full moon, and a YouTuber who goes by the name of Al Capone is in the most hectic cemetery I have ever seen. He can't even explain what he's been through without getting interrupted.
Okay, things moving behind tombstones while I was driving.
Then listen to this at 4 minutes and 52 seconds.
No, behind me.
Oh, you heard behind you? I heard it.
No, I heard what was by you, but I'm saying by the cars, like...
Al is talking when another man's voice speaks at the same time. What they hear a minute and a half later leaves their mouths hanging open. I mean, this could be neighbors from some of the nearby houses, except there's really no reason for anybody to be shouting near the cemetery in the middle of the night. Plus, the direction these voices are coming from is deeper in the cemetery, away from the houses and closer to the woods. And since this video was made in the middle of January 2020, I doubt anyone was out there camping. This doll is reputed to make you crazy, and Dima is spending 3 days alone with it. Let's see what happens. First, Dima introduces viewers to the doll.
Время. Как мне сказали, чтобы освободить ее, надо, соответственно, разбить стекло.
It doesn't take long for things to unravel. At around 3 a.m. this happens. That sounded like a footstep. For some reason, Dima decides to visit the doll, and he soon regrets it.
Stop. Stop, нет.
I mean, wouldn't you?
Так, мать, давай-ка ты... Она прям на меня смотрит, блядь, я весь в мурашках.
Those eyes look real. Are they? Soon, Dima loses his pulse.
Что происходит? Что происходит, блядь? Блядь, что происходит? Ой, что случилось? Почему у меня пульс 0?
Okay, that was just an accident, but is this?
Что это такое? Что это такое? Что это такое? Что это такое?
What are these unexplained noises? And this one.
Что за звук?
As the doll is taken over Dima's bed, its presence moves things in his room. Later, he discovers the doll's little shoe on the floor.
Ребята, это же не вышло.
How did it end up there? Has she been wandering around while he sleeps? One of the security cameras then moves on its own. Was it just positioned poorly, or is this the possessed doll's work as well? I think it probably is the maleficent spirit at play. This doll is 100% possessed, and in my opinion, its demon is now on the loose in Dima's house. He shouldn't have ever let her in. Have you ever been afraid of your own shadow? What if you know the animated shadow you're seeing is not yours at all? YouTuber Average American 2019 caught this shadow person on video in August of 2018. As he's descending the stairs of this building, a distinctive shadow is seen on the wall, passing in the opposite direction. Then as they descend a further stairwell, a second shadow person appears again. The man recording the footage notices the shadow person in real time. Luckily, he is with friends, so he can simply laugh off the incident. I'm guessing he'd feel differently if he was alone in this encounter. In paranormal lore, shadow people are considered by many to be masses of living humanoid figures. Paranormalists believe they are the presence of a spirit or other entity. While some think shadow people are creatures of evil intent, others consider them neutral, or even helpful extra-dimensional beings. Whatever you think they are, this video will surely make you afraid of the dark. Megan uploaded an odd doorbell cam video to her TikTok account. The video says 10:29 on a Friday, but she actually saw this stranger running past her home at 5:15 that same morning. The phantom image is a little more than a glowing pair of eyes and a barely visible body that weaves in and out of focus. The blurry figure doesn't even make it past her front yard before it disappears entirely. When paused here, it looks like a person leaning forward as they run. One leg is on the ground and one hand is in the air. The question is whether or not this was a glitch, which I don't think it was, because everything else in the scene looks completely normal. Mornhill Camp served as a transit point for troops on the Western Front during World War I. The YouTube team Ghost Theory investigates this haunted officer's house. A Steadicam that they set up in one of the rooms starts to move, You can also hear strange, unexplained noises in the background.
This guy's a tyrant. You open this door? This is...
Then later they capture a man's scream.
There's clicking.
One viewer also points out this strange mist or dust that seems to shift across the room.
We have so many questions. And we've heard you before, so we know that you're here and you can do this.
Is the officer lurking about? I believe that's his scream, and I don't know if I want to know what caused it. This video shows evidence of the terrifying unknown, as strange lights were captured in the Tokyo sky on June 26, 2020. Some suggest the lights are not those of unidentified flying devices, but rather of Starlink, SpaceX's satellite constellation, which is being built with the aim to provide nearly worldwide internet access by 2022. These low Earth orbit satellites are mass-produced and work with ground transceivers. Could that be nothing but a project by Elon Musk? Others suggest it's simply air traffic approaching the airport. Redditor Bacon4Life writes, "While it is spooky, when there's a bit of a traffic jam to come into the airport, aircraft turn their landing lights on quite high and far out so that it's easy for the tower to identify each of them. Still a good spooky video though. Do you agree with these assertions? Or is this just another thing they don't want us to see? You gotta pay the troll toll." Posted to the Chills Narrator subreddit, the Redditor is wondering what's watching her son and nephew from under this bridge. She explains that the pair were night fishing. When her son told the person, animal, or monster to show itself, there was no reaction. The thing they capture from beneath the bridge appears to be peeking out from behind the wall. Some say it looks human, others think it's more demonic. But Redditor user unknown writes, "What many are thinking, I wouldn't stick around to find out." Neither would they apparently, because according to the Redditor, the pair fled, but behind him they heard clicking noises and something bashing through the trees, perhaps a troll after his hard-earned cash. While walking down an empty street at night, this man encountered not one but 3 witches. Posted to the very spooky video subreddit by Enrique Glue, he hears them before he sees them. The witches are making these horror movie noises that are creepy in and of themselves. As he walks, he spies this figure off to his right. He then makes a run for it, but their scary wails follow him. Next, he spies this figure to the left. He continues running as the screaming gets crazier. And lastly, another figure in white coming from this alleyway to the right. Many in the comments think the noise sounds like cats or an upset husky. Others say this is obviously the call for the witch meeting. What do you think is happening here? I can't imagine it's anything good. A small cluster of weird deep-sea creatures seem to be embedded inside a piece of coral that broke off and floated ashore. One of the creatures is still moving and seems to retreat from the camera upon getting sighted. I wonder what they look like out of their coral encasement, probably even scarier. Anyway, no one has identified these unknown creatures in the comments, and the uploader of this video describes them only as weird creatures at the beach, and leaves it at that. So let's help solve the mystery and figure out what these are. Will Wild's Outdoor Adventures is a YouTube channel focusing on interesting hikes through nature trails. This time, Will Wild is completely alone in the woods when he gets the feeling that he is being watched. His survival instincts tell him to pause and survey his surroundings, a decision that probably saves his life. Watch this part and tell me if you spotted anything before he zooms in, because I sure didn't.
There's a bear right there.
There's no doubt that he would have kept going straight into its clutches if he didn't think to zoom in first. It's standing dead center in the path and looking straight at him, so maybe if it was even waiting in ambush, he turns around instead, but that doesn't exactly mean he's safe yet. Bears are notoriously curious and will follow hikers for a long time, especially if they are protecting their territory. So now Will has to keep making noises to keep the bear at bay. He is absolutely terrified, but he has to sound as brave as he can as he backpedals down the narrow path while screaming, "Hey, bear!" As you can see, there is tall vegetation on both sides, and he expects to be a goner at any moment from an unseen angle. Also, one false step could leave him with a twisted ankle, and a wild bear steadily approaching.
Bear spray out.
Hey, bear! The trail even widens into a clearing, and he can see that he is not being followed. I think he took the best course of action considering the circumstances, but let me know what you're supposed to do in that situation, and if he made any mistakes. Shared by Redditor AlarmDad5309, this video looks ominous when you click on it, but you have to watch closely to see why. Did you see it? Watch again. This time keep an eye on the shelf with the mirrors. A candle suddenly lights up and it stays lit through the remainder of the minute-long video. Is this proof of a spiritual presence? Some in the comments think so. Some think the cat is a fire starter, but I think it sees something that we cannot. What is this being lurking in the forest? YouTuber Fish On Fish Out returned to his favorite fishing spot with the boys when he spotted this. What was that? I'm not sure what that is. Could it be pareidolia? Maybe, but I think it's a demon lurking, angry that they took his favorite fishing hole. Justin White and his friends sneak into the abandoned LA Zoo, which is supposedly one of the most haunted places in the entire city. It's too dark to see much, but they seem to be followed by strange sounds that are getting progressively closer. By the end of the video, it really does seem as though something is right on them.
Oh my god!
Christ. What the hear that? Actually hear that?
I felt something on my arm, like I'm not even joking. Okay.
We're leaving. Dunzo.
Oh my god, Dunzo.
Twigs snap underfoot just behind them. It couldn't have been one of them because everybody in the group is standing completely still on camera when it happens. Oh, and there's another piece of evidence that makes me think this zoo really might be haunted. They managed to capture a soft voice on camera that they later enhanced for clarity. It sounds like a girl's voice and she seems to have a clear warning. A kid is reading something off a website when his friend says something that makes him pause. Tell me what is being said here if you can. A wild face at the window sends him sprawling backwards in his chair with fright. There's no playing that scream off. He was seriously afraid for his life. He must not have seen the camera hidden in his friend's lap, and he never expected one of his other friends to jump at him from the window with a crazy look in his eye. But at least he saves a little bit of face by regaining his composure quickly and laughing along with them. Still, nevertheless, having someone peeking through your bedroom window is certainly a nightmare. Bell Tower Bat lives in a haunted hotel that's built upon a series of tunnels that are haunted as well. So she decides to go ghost hunting with the TikTok app and see what reality ripple shows her. The first thing she notices are a couple antique bottles that seem to have a ghost attached to them. It's an all-black aura that is far different from the psychedelic colors that are usually displayed. Now it's time to leave her room and see what else her ghost hunting app has to show her. She doesn't see anything for the rest of the video until she gets to the very last haunted hallway. A ghostly shadow figure looks at her down the hall and sends her the other way. The reality ripple is still on, so if this was a living person, it should be an orange or purple color. Instead, the shadow person is devoid of color, so either this video was edited, or else it's a real ghost sighting on TikTok. A paranormal YouTube channel called Northwest Ghost Adventures claims his haunted attic has the most ghost activity out of anywhere in the UK. Here are two of the best examples of paranormal evidence. On February of 2018, the Northwest Ghost Adventures channel made a breakthrough EVP session with a possessed doll named Lily. 3 times in a row, the same male voice speaks through the spirit box.
Hi, spirits. Yeah, I'm okay. Can you tell me the name of this doll? My name's Lily.
I think it even starts talking backwards here, which is something I've never heard a spirit box even do before, and also possibly evidence of a demonic ghost EVP caught on camera. The ghost hunter administers some more paranormal experiments, and Lily, the possessed doll, passes them all.
Can you show us an orb, please? Thank you. Can you show me your orbs?
A month later, he claims to have been possessed while investigating. He spends the night in his haunted attic, and his eyes open when the spirit box says awake. He looks around in a trance-like state for some time. Notice how the ghost meter stays maxed out for over a full minute, beginning at 1 minute and 7 seconds, and continuing until the moment his head hits the pillow at 2 minutes and 26 seconds, at which point the lights go out entirely. As if the demon has left. Was I possessed, he later asks, and I think most of us will agree that yes, he was. A landlord named Jill Prevost is in the basement of a rental property when she sees a furious house cat guarding the top of the steps. The angry, hissing animal descends upon her within seconds. Watch this part and you'll see the cat attack her purse with all of its might. Jill simply holds it in front of her for protection. Otherwise, the rampaging animal could have easily been climbing up her leg. There is nowhere to run except past the cat up the stairs. Once upstairs, she immediately grabs a broom and remains stuck in the house until the owner comes back.
Get away. This cat just attacked me.
This video is definitely bizarre until you realize cats instinctively go for areas that cause the most damage, like the face or throat. Though it may be a domestic house cat, it is nonetheless protecting its territory with everything it's got, so who knows what would have happened if the owner had not come to Jill's rescue in time. Are You Being Followed? Published by Moosey in August of 2021, one subscriber to the channel claimed there was a paranormal forest near their house, so Moosey went to investigate. This is what happened. Using a paranormal filter on his camera, Moosey takes a few photos. He then goes home to develop them, or at least check them out on his laptop. He shows one of the photos of the paranormal forest without the filter. It looks completely normal, albeit a bit spooky. Note that there's no one in sight. However, the exact same landscape shot with the paranormal filter shows something different. Off to the right, a creepy and mysterious figure with dark hair and a white dress is standing in the brush. She is facing left and looking straight ahead. Another shot of the forest unfiltered again shows no one in sight, but apply the filter and the figure is there again, closer this time, and appears to be looking at Moosey. Although it's hard to tell, as her face is transparent, she looks as if half of her has been erased. Moosey believes this entity followed him home. If she did, what is she after? I'm guessing his soul. You've never heard of the Rake? You're about to. YouTuber Apex TV notes that this clip was caught in a Mexican park, writing, "Many claim the strange creature is a legendary creature known as the Rake." Now what's the Rake, you ask? Described as humanoid-like in appearance, the legendary creature is said to go after humans and other animals for no known reason, and is cited as a possible proxy to the mysterious tall and skinny woodland lurker. According to records, the first account of a Rake, in which the writer uses the creature's name, appears in a 1691 mariner's log. The next written description appears in the 1800s, charging the Rake with being absolutely terrifying with hollow black eyes. After hearing of these accounts and descriptions of the forest creature, does this mysterious figure atop the playground appear to be the Rake to you, or do you believe it's something else? If so, what?
Freaking myself out. Go away!
A Reddit poster named Drexana13 catches an invisible watcher using nothing other than the face detection software of her Snapchat filter. She says she could feel someone breathing on her, and this does seem likely because more than once, the spirit gets as close as it can to her. And it's practically right on top of her as she backs into the elevator.
No. I think I'm panicking.
But is it really a teleporting apparition? Or is Snapchat mistaking the dark circular areas between these lights as eyes? I think it's up for debate, but this Redditor seems to have made up her mind. Oh, and one last thing. It may have climbed into the elevator with her. There's a white light here that might be the reflection of her phone screen, but the movements don't quite match. So what do you think it is? A YouTuber named Nightshade stands at the top of his steps after hearing noises coming from deep within his basement. Every time he says something, orbs seem to follow.
Hello?
He tries to keep this calm as he makes a request of the ghost to confirm it's real, and they're with him. Watch as the orbs seem to go up the steps when asked.
If you could come up the stairs for me if you haven't already done so, please do it now. If it was Mr. Grooters, you could go down the stairs, but Mrs. Grooters, you would not go down the stairs.
And when he goes down the steps, one of his dogs seems hesitant to follow. They too seem to notice the abundant number of white circular orbs that now dance all around. There is more to fear in the woods, published to YouTube in October of 2007 by Dennis Daunt. This video purports to show paranormal activity in the forest outside of Dudley Town. In the forest, a man is heard dialing up a friend to let him know that he's seeing some creature in the forest again, and he's going to try and catch it on video. He runs upstairs from the sound of it to catch it from a better vantage point. That's when, faintly, at the forest's edge, you can see a shadow pass in front of the trees in a quick flick. Some in the comments think it's a horse, but according to many others, Dudley Town is a cursed place. YouTuber TopsX4 warns others, stay out of Dudley Town, it's a dangerous and evil place. When you get into the town, there is no sound, not even a bird, it's like you're in a vacuum. Bad things happen here. DGS 104 also claims that his friend's car was trashed by spirits there. Well, Dave Harley agrees that Dudley Town is absolutely no joke, adding that many are said to have passed away in the coal mines, while other residents simply went insane. With such accounts and this video, I'm convinced to never visit. Ghost hunting expert Stephen Lancaster leads a paranormal investigation in an attic that's believed to be haunted. Voices and footsteps are said to be heard ever since a previous owner lost their life up here. After setting up paranormal surveillance equipment, Stephen waits for a while and hears scary noises. I definitely heard something in the corner just a few feet away from Steven. Here's what he has to say. I think he's telling the truth, but let me know if you detect any giveaways in his voice.
Somebody was walking around. Somebody whispered something to me.
Remember when you were younger and you heard the twinkling song of the ice cream truck calling all the neighborhood out for a sweet treat? Well, would you have come running if it had sounded like this? YouTuber Sean Bob Guy published this clip in June of 2008, writing that this demonic ice cream van shows up every single day at his apartment complex. The thing always scares his cat. The cat is probably not the only one with hair on end. Usually parents tell their kids if strangers offer candy to run like heck, particularly strangers in white creepy vans. Well, this scenario isn't too far off. The ice cream truck's tune sounds nothing short of creepy, giving it a distinct horror movie vibe. You know, the warbling song right before Chucky pops out and takes a life. You can almost expect the clown from It to be serving up soft serves from this truck. Probably not the most inviting image. To add to the creepiness, the vehicle isn't even a truck but is literally a white van driving very slowly through a neighborhood to lure passers-by. And at the end of the video, it seems one is lured as a person comes running over to order from the creepiest ice cream van ever. YouTuber Lynn writes in the comments, if animals act weird around this sort of thing, it's definitely haunted. The rat nest adds, and the people who posted this were never seen again. One thing's for sure, this evil tune should never exist. All of the occupants of this home are said to have passed away of unknown causes. Dark Arts TV has come to investigate. First, they show a clip from Abandoned World Explorer UK, who has also explored this abandoned home and experienced something sinister here.
What was that? I kid you not, guys, we were in the house and there's a bell that just rolled. We literally just got out. I can hear some strange noises coming in this place, just being in there. We was acting cool, like funny.
In the home, they come across a smashed cabinet full of whiskey glasses.
No.
Ah, is that whiskey? Or is that just the colour of the glass?
Man, that is sad. Someone's actually smashed the glass.
As they speak to the spirits via spirit box, they notice the curtain moving.
Wait, the curtain started moving.
Oh, yo, the curtain's moving, bro.
Wait, can you move it again, please? Move it again. I just saw
this curtain just moved.
I just saw it.
Then the spirits really start horsing around.
What was that? Did someone else just throw something again? Did someone else just throw something again? No, I don't know. I'm legit in front of the camera as well, man.
As one of the crew is talking to a spirit named Macy, he sees something through the curtain.
So, Maisie, was it you looking out the window? I've just seen something there. What the was that? I'm going to close the curtain. Close the curtain.
And then, while they're wandering, this happens.
Whoa, what the was that, bro? What the Yo, boys! No way.
Did whatever is lurking here mysteriously take the lives of every last occupant of this home? I'm sensing something dark here, so I'm gonna say the answer is yes. If you've ever been down a mine shaft, you know how eerie it can be. So imagine hearing these sounds while you're down there. YouTuber Retro Electroville published this footage in June of 2011 of a mine shaft in Del Sur, California, in the Mine Canyon area, writing, "We come across an open shaft with creepy sounds coming from it." Creepy is right.
Actually, I think it's on the right.
The sound is a strange hissing noise that seems to be coming from deeper within the shaft. Of course, whatever is making the creepy hiss is out of view, so we can only guess as to what the source might be. Is it a phantom? A pile of snakes? Despite knowing the true source, the sound still gives us goosebumps. A YouTuber named Savage Mister seems to be able to control the elements with his mind, and this creepy video has some viewers losing theirs in return. Savage Mister waves to the sky, and in that moment a streak of sideways lightning appears to follow his commands. Although it looks like he has superhuman powers, this was actually a total accident. Savage Mister is in the middle of a conversation with his brother, and he was talking with his hands when this once-in-a-lifetime coincidence happened, and really shocked them both. A YouTube channel called Urban Exploring with Cappy is checking out this old abandoned log cabin slowly rotting in the woods. The cabin looks to have been part of a small town built recently enough to have power lines. Cappy and his friends start looking inside the log cabin. They look at the retro interior and estimate this place was abandoned sometime in the 50s or 60s. Though what drove them away from this area is unclear. Eventually, the two friends come across a stepladder leading to the attic that's already been open. It gives them a bad feeling, so one calls out,
Hello? Is there an animal up there?
They didn't come all the way here just to stop now, so Cappy climbs the ladder and takes a look around.
Oh!
A very loud bang startles Cappy and he jumps off the ladder in surprise. They didn't go back up there to investigate, and we'll never know if whatever made that noise was human, animal, or something else altogether. Imagine waking up one morning and finding this thing lurking in one of the most intimate areas of your home. That's the reaction of a YouTuber named Stefanie Van Tinnen and her mother upon finding a huge rat in their toilet. They start talking about how to get rid of the giant rodent and finally come up with a plan. When coaching it to jump into the bag doesn't work, Stefanie grabs a glove and a towel, and with the help of her mother, finally gets it inside of the bag. Her mother runs outside of the house and puts the rat in the front lawn. My question is, do you think you would have had the courage to grab a possibly diseased rat straight from a sewer like they did, or would you have called Animal Control Services? To be honest, I probably would have contacted Animal Control Services.